You want to look good in your underwear and be comfortable, right? But that perfect balance is hard to find. Don't sacrifice style or comfort. Check out MeUndies. August is National Underwear Month, and to celebrate, MeUndies is making it easier than ever to try the world's most comfortable underwear by giving you a risk-free guarantee. All National Underwear Month long. If you don't love your MeUndies, they're free. MeUndies are made from lensing micromodal, a sustainably sourced, naturally soft fabric that's proven to be 3 times softer than cotton. Micromodal is an all-natural, breathable, eco-friendly fabric extruded from Austrian beech trees that actually inhibits odor. No stinky undies, just soft, cool, and cozy MeUndies. MeUndies are the ultimate feel-good undies for when you want to feel naked, but not actually be naked. All National Underwear Month long, you can feel them for yourself, risk-free. It's simple. If you don't love your MeUndies, they're free. Now until August 31st, get 20% off your first pair, plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/blogtalk. That's MeUndies.com/blogtalk. MeUndies.com/blogtalk.
Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Sin's Chat Corner. Tonight I am very privileged to be hosting actress Jamie Bernadette. She's actually a very versatile and very talented individual. We're going to be chatting this evening about a few different things. Obviously her personal life, her professional career. We're going to learn a little bit about some of her passions, one of which is also one of my passions, which is writing poetry. Definitely is going to be a must-listen this evening. First of all, we're going to begin the show like we normally do with discussing the usual business at hand. I wanted to let anybody know, in case they happen to be new listeners to the show, that if you ever wish to get into direct contact with myself or with the show for any reason, meaning you might have a particular show idea that you wish to share with me, I always take new suggestions as it relates to businesses or artists, musicians, charities, celebrities, just anything that you might have in terms of an actual guest. Any kind of discussion you want to have, either on air, off air, any kind of an event happening that I might not know about. There's a number of ways of which you can get in contact with me. Obviously, I'm on Facebook as myself, which is Cindy Mich. I am also having a Facebook show page, which is Sin's Chat Corner, of course. I am located on Twitter, and my identity there is at SANDB11. And I also have a personal email, CIN4251@gmail.com. And you can always, of course, go onto my show page and email me there as well. I also wanted to let everybody know that I've actually finally developed my concept for my new wine glasses that are going to be for the show, Sin's Chat Corner. It's a lovely little design that I'm very excited to be sharing with everybody. I'm hoping to be able to get those up on both the show page as well as my Facebook page within the next week. So you can take a look at the design, and then I'll have purchase information on there. And even if you don't live in the state of Wisconsin, you should be able to purchase those. So I would appreciate it if you could, of course, pass the word along to everyone you know in case they might be interested in drinking a wine glass out of my show glass. I also wanted to shout out, I'm planning an event, and this is for October 20th of this year. I am actually serving as the chairperson of this event. As I said, it's going to be here in Milwaukee, and it's going to be to the benefit for 2 individuals. The first of which is for the Why Me organization, which is to fight breast cancer, and also for the benefit of a friend of mine who happens to be the Chicago mob wife, Leah DeSimone. If you happen to follow the show at all, you do know that she is currently in breast cancer treatment herself. So I would like to do something, like us in Milwaukee, to do something to benefit both of them. The event's basically going to consist of a number of elements. We're going to be having a silent auction, a charity date auction. We're going to be having vendors of all different types. I'm going to be orchestrating children's activities, so the kids are certainly welcome. And, of course, we'll be having music. And, fortunately, Leah has definitely agreed to sign on board to come to this event. She's hoping we can get 400 or 500 of you people out there, and she'll be bringing her family, so certainly you'd be able to meet her mother, as I said, who's currently battling breast cancer at the moment herself. In the next, I'd say, week or so, if you want to go ahead and check both my, again, Facebook page or else my show page. I'll be posting all the information and details as far as where the event will be, what time it will be located at, and, of course, where you'll be able to purchase tickets, and, of course, for how much. And certainly, if you happen to know anyone who might be interested as far as doing volunteer work for the event, anyone who might be able to contribute to either organization, please feel free to just contact me directly in all the various ways I gave you earlier. I would definitely appreciate it, and I would consider it a personal favor to myself. And finally, I just wanted to give everybody a heads up for this coming weekend. We've got a bunch of different people who are friends of mine that are going to be out playing. My sister, who's, of course, with Annie B and the Vagabond Company, a.k.a. Annette Marie, will be out of town this weekend. For any of you who might be listening up in the Door County area, she's going to have her band up there this weekend. So certainly, if you're up there, go ahead and check her out, www.anniebmusic.com. I also have a very dear friend of mine by the name of Bill White, who actually plays in a band called Audacious White Noise. And this weekend, you can catch them either on Saturday. They're going to be playing a pig roast at the bar 106 C Booth, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's down on 1st and C Booth Street. Otherwise, you can go to Kochansky's on Sunday and go ahead and check them out in action there. Also, if you're looking for more of the country-type twang music, as I call it, Matthew Tyner, my dear friend Matty, and his band, which is called the Carpetbaggers, they're going to be playing this coming Friday at Smitty's, which is located in Mequon. And, of course, Saturday he's going to be out at the Silver Creek Brewery Company, which is in Cedarburg. So go ahead and check either one of them out. Let them know that I sent you out there. As we all know, I'm a personal favorite of the Eddie Butts Band, and if you go to their website, www.eddiebuttsband.com, you'll be able to check out Sunday. I believe they're playing a local church festival here on South 51st Street. So for any of you that want to go dance your socks off, my recommendation, of course, any one of these bands, or Eddie Butts, of course. Okay, pretty soon we're going to be having Jamie coming on the show. So in the interim, I thought I would try to squeeze in just 2 of my hot topics today instead of 3. We're a little tight on time here today, so we want to kind of try to get to it, if you will. First hot topic we've got, I'm sure anyone in the Milwaukee area has either heard about, read about, talked about, been upset about, undoubtedly, and that would be the very untimely and recent termination of Sue Black. Sue Black, of course, has been our County Parks Director for a number of years. I've been fortunate only in a number of opportunities, and that means infrequently, maybe 2-3 times, where I got the opportunity to really meet her. Honestly, I can tell you she just seemed absolutely lovely. She's very educated, very humorous, truly what I consider to be a class act. For lack of a better term, her termination is just nothing sort of insulting. It's a complete insult, as well as, frankly, I just find it to be bullshit, for lack of a better term. I was shocked. All of a sudden, I went on the Internet, and I looked, and I thought, this woman who's given years of service to this community is completely without a job and without an explanation. Apparently, she had been given a very lucrative job offer from the Chicago area, and she actually opted to pass on that, to stay in Milwaukee, to service the Milwaukee County Park System. As I understand it, she has performed her job above and beyond the expectations that were given to her. She was appointed to do certain tasks for our county, and she has performed them. She has always been very approachable and thoroughly has carried an immense passion for her position, and that kind of resonates in all the things you see. Like, for instance, you go on to the Dome's website, you can see her whole intro on the very top of it. It's just talking about our Milwaukee Park System. Anytime she would be at an event sponsored by Milwaukee Parks, she was just excited and just friendly and approachable, like I said, just an overall wonderful person. And then, of course, after many years of, loyal and faithful service, it's like a slap in the face to this person. She wakes up one morning and she's jobless. And now, unfortunately, as I have heard, she's not only stopped giving interviews as a whole, but now she has hired, obviously, a PR firm, and I'm guessing the next step is probably going to be a legal firm, which, of course, who could possibly blame her for this? I mean, being given no legitimate reason for a termination is just unjustifiably wrong, in my opinion. I think that Sue Black deserved to keep her job, and she deserved to keep her place in the community as well as her reputation. I guess my feeling is Chris Abel needs to step up, get off of his ass, and give her some form of an explanation. And frankly, in some ways, I think that the community is expecting to get some form of not necessarily an apology, but just an explanation in terms of what happened, why this happened. Is this political? I guess apparently the talk around town is that he is doing this for political reasons. Again, I must say, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. You need to be straight with the individuals who work in your community, who do nothing except service your community. And Sue Black is just the epitome of that. So enough said. Again, I want to throw it out to public opinion here. If you think I'm wrong, if you think Abel's got an opinion that's right, you can feel free. I've got my chat line that's open up here. I've got, obviously, Twitter. Go ahead and Facebook me. Get a hold of me. Let me know what your thoughts are, good, bad, or otherwise. I'm interested, obviously, to hear anything you have to say. Now, the other topic of conversation today is just something that occurred to me mainly because I was at the Wisconsin State Fair recently. To any of you who have been parents before or even are currently parents, we've all seen this before, I'm sure, and we all have varying opinions on this. Sin prefers to call this contraption that I see a child, quote-unquote, leash. Now, it never ceases to amaze me that there's just a number of bona fide jackass parents out there that have used certain items that are relative to their kids that I find to be just utter nonsense or ridiculous. Now, the one that irritates the hell out of me the very most has to be, like I said, what I call endearingly the child leash. Now, have you ever seen one of these parents that kind of walk around with the mall or at a festival or at some kind of a fair, and they've got their kids, and they've literally got them attached to these contraptions? I mean, it looks like just like a long harness or like a long belt that attaches to this child, and then it appears to look like, to me, it looks like a dog leash, like when you take your dog out and then you've got it all collared up and stuff and you've got the long leash. Exact same scenario. Now, some parents claim that it's so that they can't lose their child because obviously, of course, if you're in a busy scenario and this child's all locked up to this, you're not going to be able to lose your kid. Well, here's my response to that. Now, are you just too damn blind to where you can't see where your own child is? I mean, here's the hint for you. An infant child, especially anyone that you put on a leash, and the kicker of this is it's not always infant children. Sometimes I see individuals who have got kids who are like 5, 6 years old, and they're on a damn leash. Infant kids, regular kids, here's a hint, they're all going to wander. And it's within their nature because they're children, and that's what they do. You need to let the kid walk around and use his legs. That's what God gave him for. I mean, if your dumb ass can't make sure that your child is in viewing distance, then I guess the shame is on you and not on them. I mean, my feeling is, why would you punish a child by making him or her wear a collar, so to speak? I mean, granted, it's not an actual collar, but for all intents and purposes, again, you're kind of strapping them up like this to where they can't move. I think it's ridiculous. I think it looks ridiculous. The kids always look so damn uncomfortable. It makes me feel bad for the poor kid. It makes me want to walk up to them and just bitch slap them, for lack of a better term. Now, I know that seems a little bit harsh, so maybe I'll tone it down a little bit. I think that the poor child would actually fall over just from being attached to this very long thing. Like, for instance, if you're walking and the thing gets wrapped around something, wrapped around a tree, wrapped around another person, another kid, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I guess the moral of the story here is that dogs are supposed to go on leashes because they're animals. Kids are not animals. Kids are not pets. They're people. We don't put people on a leash. In fact, when you put people on a leash, like in a relationship or otherwise, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to go running. Same scenario here, people. So I got to tell you, that's my little 30 seconds as it relates to the whole child leash thing. So word to parents, drop the leashes and start watching your damn kids. Enough said, but I'm sure this one will be under heated controversy. Certainly, if you have anything you want to say about it, phone lines are open. Got my show page, got my Facebook page. Just kind of fill me in and let me know what your thoughts are on that. Like I said, I'm always interested. I may not agree necessarily, but I am interested to hear what you have to say. Now, we've only got about a minute or two left before the lovely and talented Jamie Bernadette is going to grace us with her presence. So I want to just throw one more idea out to you, or I should say make you aware about. Very recently, I have approached an individual who actually does videography in the city of Milwaukee, and we are currently in discussions or talks about producing a documentary. If you've listened to my show before, then you are all too aware of the fact that I am a very firm advocate as it relates to bipolar disorder. I myself, being a long-term bipolar individual, I find that we just do not have enough methods for treatment and or medications and or facilities or awareness in the world as it relates to this disorder. My thoughts are I'm going to get together a panel of about 3 or 4 experts in the area in a I would say in addition to which I'd like to see some therapists on board, and I would also like to find a few candidates in the area, and that being Wisconsin or Illinois, who have suffered from bipolar disorder, who would be willing to courageously be within the course of this documentary. We will be filming you, obviously within your own home or whatever comfortable setting you feel in. We will obviously be interviewing individuals that are close to you who have experienced your behavior as a bipolar person. In order to qualify, I am asking that individuals be a diagnosed bipolar individual and have been so for approximately 10 years plus. As far as it relates to other things, if you are manic, that is not an issue for me. If you are medicated or non-medicated, that is certainly not an issue for me. If you are experiencing other disorders or parallel disorders or manifestations in addition to bipolar, certainly you can get in contact with me. I would like to start meeting with individuals within the next week, in which case then we can start setting up a filming schedule. So certainly I would appreciate it if you have any information for me, if you know of any candidates, if you know of any agencies, any locations, anything relative to this, or maybe even anything that you can contribute to the project. The name of the film is going to be entitled, cleverly, Bipolar Babes, which, of course, was brought up by yours truly. If you happen to have any information for me at all, please, 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 again, my direct email, sin4251@gmail.com, or as I said, you can come to my show page at any time and leave me an email message. You may go to Facebook, and you can go ahead and leave me a message there. And without further ado, let's get Jamie on the line and get this interview started. Hello, Jamie.
Hello, Cindy.
Hi, Jamie.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you?
How are you? Oh, my gosh, I'm so excited. I was just telling our listeners, I'm like, I can't wait till she gets on the line. I'm so excited, doing my happy dance right in the middle of my living room right now. I am excited. I have just got tons of questions for you, and I know that you're on a bit of a time crunch today, so I kind of want to delve right into things so we can get some answers from you.
Okay, sure.
Okay, wonderful. Now, amazingly enough, I found that you happen to be one of the few guests I've ever had that actually grew up reasonably close to Milwaukee, which is where I'm from. I know that you're currently a native of L.A. Now, do you happen to miss your hometown, or do you visit frequently, or how often do you get back here?
Usually I get back 2 to 3 times a year, but this year I haven't been able to get back once. I'm working on that.
Oh, no.
I was so swamped this summer, yeah. I wasn't able to make it back. My family's been waiting, and hopefully September, after I film an accident at Cutter's Creek, hopefully I will be able to make it home because I'm very, very close to my family, and I miss them terribly. So.
Oh, my bad. Oh, my goodness gracious. But now we live in the world of Skype, and we live in the world of webcam and all that good stuff, so hopefully you're able to stay in contact, of course. And are they just raving about you? They must be so proud of all the accolades you've had and everything you've done so far.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're really proud, and they're always so supportive. I have a great family, and, I mean, they encouraged me to come out here and follow my dream, and they've been with me in my lows and my highs, so I'm very
wonderful.
blessed to have them.
Oh, my goodness. Now, do you get an opportunity to be able to take them to events with you? Like, do they come out and fly out and you get to go places together and things like that as far as L.A.?
I haven't yet. Hopefully soon, though. You know, I hope to have them out. I mean, they all have families of their own, and we're all very busy, so, but hopefully soon. Yeah.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, now I understand, in case for anyone that doesn't know, Jamie comes from a family of 9 and was raised by Mom, for the most part, and of course I'm assuming that had its own challenges. I wonder if you could elaborate to our audience some of the values which your parents instilled in you.
Well, because my is the 9 of us, so quite a hardship. So I've learned to vet and I'm. Are you there?
Oh, I'm sorry. In fact, you just kind of cut out on us there, where there was like this dead silence for the last 5-10 seconds. Okay, let's see if we can try this. That's okay. I wanted to ask you if your artist inclinations as far as what you do for a living as a career, is any of your family talented in that regard?
No, I'm the only one who's gone this way into this field.
Okay.
But I know my sister does do some theater back in Kankakee, Illinois, where I'm from, and she really loves it. Yeah.
Okay. I gotcha. Okay. Now, I was very intrigued to find out that you actually write poetry, because I myself am an author. I'm curious, what types of poetry that you do, and when you kind of discovered that this is something you really enjoyed?
Well, I was 6 when I started writing, so I've been writing pretty much my whole life now.
Okay.
About doing that, like through self-publishing or a publisher, or so it's just,
Okay. I got it. And now at present. Oh, really? Okay.
I started when I was 6, so.
Oh, my goodness. And you are, forgive me, but you're a young lady, correct? We're not going to ask age because we never ask age on this show. We never, ever talk about that. You're a woman, and we don't mention that, obviously. Now, have you been published as of yet? Because as I understand it, I don't think you have at this point in time. Is that right?
I've been published in college publications where I won a couple of awards there. So I'm published, it's called River Bluff Review. I'm in 2 issues of that.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. I'm making a note so I can check it out, because I'm definitely checking that out later this evening, folks, and you should as well. When you write something, you should check it out. We're all going to read it just to see how good it is, of course. It's true. Now, I see that you, obviously your background stems from the theater. Did you find it a challenge to transition from that to another genre?
Yeah, definitely. When you're in theater, you're speaking to a bigger audience, so your actions are bigger and more dramatic. Theater is more dramatic. Film is very, very intimate. I had to learn subtlety. And I hear other actors say that as well, who come from theater. They come out here and audition, and when they start auditioning, they're so big. They're like over kind of, because you have to reach the person in the back row in theater versus the camera's right in front of your face, and the camera just picks up everything. So you have to be more subtle.
Of course. Gotcha. Okay. Now, I'm going to toot Jamie's horn for about 30 seconds here and tell you that she has starred in 22 films. She's appeared on 5 television programs and has, of course, done commercial work, which to me is obviously a very impressive, it shows impressive talent for a woman, a younger woman. Which type of work do you think has been your favorite and why?
That's tough because I enjoy it all. I love doing commercials. The commercials I've done have been so easygoing and just stress-free compared to some of the film work that I've done. But I don't know. I guess it's really hard to say because I really love doing all of it.
Okay.
But I love film too as well. I really like horror films. I don't know why. I really enjoy the films that I've done.
Okay, I gotcha.
But I'm getting into all different genres too. It's funny to come out here and find out where you fit in, and I'm kind of getting cast in everything. I mean, sci-fi, comedy, dark dramas, and just all across the board, which I didn't necessarily expect that.
Would you classify yourself, like if we were seeing Jamie on the street as just Jamie and not Jamie the actress per se, would we be surprised to see that she's either, are you that dark person per se, or would you be just lighthearted and completely opposite of the characters that you play?
I think I'm somewhere in between, actually. I mean, we all have our dark days. I can definitely go to those dark places. I think even as a person, as I do on screen. But I can definitely be very lighthearted. So I think it's all across the board, which I think actually helps my acting for sure. You know, it's not just it's not just a one-way flow for me.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, I'm sure that the audience is familiar, which I am recently, because I actually just watched MILF, which is one of your pieces of work, which actually helped to kind of put your face on the map, so to speak. Now, did you find it kind of overwhelming to receive all that notoriety in your career from that film? Were you kind of surprised by that? Did you think, hey, this is going to be a great, project, it's going to get me on the map, or were you kind of like, did you know this was coming?
No, I was shocked. I was
really
completely floored. My Facebook was blowing up. I mean, in my website, you can email me through my website, JamieBernadette.com, and it was blowing up in my inbox. It was like I had no idea what was coming. It was very shocking.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have to say, people, again, I'm going to shamelessly plug the MILF movie because I've actually seen it. I've watched it. Excellent work. I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised because there is that similarity that they talk about with the American Pie movie, I believe it is, and stuff. And it's just, I wasn't sure what to expect, but I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, this is cool. This is definitely cool because I'm an old lady. So for a woman 40-some years old, I was digging it. So I'm like, cool, definitely. No, I want to say I can only imagine it must have been just, for lack of a better word, magical to be able to work alongside the classical director Yuli Lomo. I know in 2009 you had worked on a movie called Absolute Evil, which was directed by him, of course, and starred the absolute wonderful David Carradine. Maybe you could enlighten our listeners on what you enjoyed about working with both of them as well. I'm sure we'd like to know. What can you tell us about both of them?
I absolutely love Uli. He's one of the warmest people I've ever met. Very creative and self-determined. He does what he wants, and as an artist, and I consider him a true friend. Like, he was the first person who ever gave me a chance.
Okay.
He's very, very dear to my heart. Yeah. And David Carradine, I actually unfortunately didn't get the chance to work with him on any of the scenes. I was in another scene, so that he wasn't. So unfortunately, yes, I didn't get to work with David. But I've heard I've heard that he's really great to work with from other people on the shoot. That he was really a wonderful man.
Gotcha, absolutely wonderful. Yes, and of course that whole family really is just, the talent that comes along with the Carradine family just blows me away. Actually, do you anticipate potentially working with him again on another project?
Uli?
Yeah.
Possibly. He's talked with me about it. I can't really say too much because, non-disclosure agreements and things, but we've gone back and forth about a project that could happen in the future. So we'll see. And it won't be horror.
Awesome.
I can say that.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, I have to ask this, of course, not that I'm going to ask you necessarily to pick a favorite per se, but besides, let's say if it wasn't him, for instance, who would be maybe your other favorite director to work with or that you have worked with in the past?
That's really tough. I've worked with so many amazing directors, but I would love to work with Aronofsky, who did Black Swan. I just think that he's just absolutely incredible. I love his work. It tends to be very dark. It's one of my all-time favorite films, so I don't know, maybe it's that dark side in me. I love his work, and I'd love to work with him.
I gotcha. Okay. I got it. Okay. Now, I know that, or at least so I was told, and correct me if I have wrong information, but your movie Bunny Man 2 has just finished. Is that correct?
Yes, it's done. It's due to come out October 25th.
Okay, so that'll be something that'll be happening this year. And I know that additionally you have these two projects, The Man Haters, which is, of course, another leading role for yourself, along with the movie The Interview. Can you kind of just fill us in on the premise to these films, kind of give us some information about what it's like, what you're doing in them, and perhaps when we might expect all of them to come out?
Sure. I didn't catch the second one. You said I caught Man-Haters.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have the interview. I know that we have Money Man, of course, which you just talked about, and then Man-Haters, of course, which you have a leading role in.
Yes. Okay. Well, the interview, I just finished filming in, so you should expect to see that in 2013. They're in post. We have a couple pickup things to do. So, yeah, they're pretty much in post right now, and that's a comedy. I'm the leading female in that. It's two guys who basically are construction workers, and they try to get a high-end job as a financial banker. So, yeah, I can give away too much again because of non-disclosure, but it's really, really, really funny. And I play the librarian who the lead guy falls for. And I help them, I help them in their career, per se. And that's expected 2013. Man-Haters is still in pre-production. So that's not completed yet. But that's like a horror thriller. Yes, I played Shelby. I'll be playing Shelby the lead, and I'm a battered woman, and I get out of prison and join a battered women's support group. And I can't really say too much. I know some.
No, I don't want to press you too much.
Yeah, I can't say full script synopsis, but basically we get into all kinds of trouble. Us girls, we kind of band together, and I can't say too much more than that. But I absolutely love the script, and I'm eagerly awaiting to start filming that. And we are on the very edge, so hopefully we will start like this year.
Wonderful. Now, I wanted to ask you, just curiously, out of all the different films that you've done so far, do you have your own personal favorite where you just kind of walked away from it and was like, yeah, I was right on, I love this movie, I love the work, I love everything about it?
Yes, I think it would have to be the one that's about completed Scarf. I've seen some of the scenes already, because I've had to go in and do sound work, but I'm playing an anorexic drug addict, and it was the most challenging role that I've ever had. And I walked away feeling very satisfied. The director, Young Dae Lee, was absolutely amazing to work with, and he rehearsed a lot with us, and he gave us, leeway to explore as artists the characters. It wasn't just, my way or the highway. He collaborated with me to develop this character, and it was months and months and months of research. And I'm hoping, my fingers crossed, we're submitting to Sundance, which I believe the deadline is September 23rd, so we're going to submit to that. I hope we get in, and all the other, big film festivals as well, and I have my fingers crossed on this one, because I've seen the footage, and it just looks, it's absolutely beautiful. It's beautifully done, and the vision, the overall vision that the director had is spot on.
I gotcha, of course. And so you're feeling that it's probably a real good fit for you, because I know, as you're saying, if you walk into this role and you're like, were you concerned? Did you think to yourself, am I going to be able to do this? Was there apprehension on your part maybe to sign on to something like that? Absolutely.
I would completely be lying if I said there wasn't. I was scared to death. Every day was, I was tormented every day. I'm searching for my missing sister, and I'm struggling with anorexia and a really bad drug habit. So, it was crystal meth specifically. I've never done crystal meth, so I had to do all this research and really delve in and find out who this person, Alex, was. And I definitely doubted my ability to bring that emotion when it was called for and be that person that's so outside of myself.
Sure.
but yeah, I'm really glad that I did that, because there were times when I'm like, oh gosh, maybe I should back out. And of course, I would never do that though. That's just not in me. But there are times when I was like, man, maybe I should. But I'm really glad that I did, and what I've seen of the work, I'm pleased with it, and I'm realistic. So the fact that I'm happy with something that I did says a lot.
Oh, wonderful! Yeah, and it sounds like you just sound encouraged and excited talking about it, and that's a sign of something right there. You're very proud of your work, definitely. So again, The Scarf is the name of the movie, people. So when it goes out, that means you go see it. Just throwing that out there for you. Again, I'm kind of curious. I have some horror questions, of course. Do you find that you've just always been drawn to the genre of horror, both personally and professionally?
Yes, definitely. I loved watching horror films even before I started acting in Hollywood. My sisters and I together and watched like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I'm just like that. So I'm definitely.
No, I get that.
Yeah, I enjoy watching horror. I don't know what it is. So it's
really
genre.
Okay.
So
So
I'm not
basically, I gotcha. So Wes Craven would be like your big time. This would be awesome sort of thing, because I could definitely see a collaboration with Jamie and Wes Craven. It would be like absolutely awesome there.
Okay.
You ever find, I have to ask this question because obviously you act in these movies, so one has to ask, are you ever frightened? Literally frightened?
I haven't been yet.
Really?
No, really, I haven't been. I mean, I'm the character, of course, and I created that fear, as an artist. But, yeah, honestly, me, I always know that it's okay. But with Axeman at Cutter's Creek, which I'm filming in September with Scott Pollard, he's like a 7-foot ex-NBA player. He's playing the axe. With him coming after me, I might so we'll.
Oh my goodness gracious! Oh my gosh! Now, I guess the one thing that crossed my mind was, with the large bulk of your work being in the horror genre, do you ever fear that you might become typecast to that, or like others might want to typecast you into that specifically instead of other roles or other things?
At this point, I don't fear that, because I do have a lot of other work in the other genres. Most known for MILF, which is a comedy. So, but if I hadn't done work and I kept doing horror, yes, I would be worried that I would be cast. Absolutely.
Right. I gotcha. And you're, of course, fortunate. I just have to throw this in because you have worked with one of the cutest horror-type guys, William McNamara. You know William McNamara, of course.
Oh,
I think
he's
adorable. He's dreamy.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's so lucky. To walk around and go to work every day with that has got to be wonderful, doesn't it? Is he a good guy?
Well, we haven't started filming that one yet.
I got it. That's right.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay. So you'll be finding out, of course. So inquiring minds will want to know on Facebook what that experience is like. So I personally would be watching to see what she's going to put out there, of course, because he's a doll, and he's been all sorts of things, too. So it's kind of neat to be able to see that. So, of course, it begs the question, out of all the working actors and, whoever's out there currently, who would you think would be your dream castmate to star alongside, if you could just pick whomever?
I love Natalie Portman.
Ooh,
yeah, Natalie Portman.
Really?
And I've seen her in some screenings with Q&As after, and she's just and kind and, I don't know. I just speak so highly of her and her work. So definitely Natalie, yeah.
Gotcha. How about the male counterpart to that? There's a lot of those.
Yeah, I know. That's hard. I like Leonardo DiCaprio. I've liked since he did Romeo and Juliet.
Oh,
so,
that was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. He is absolutely amazing in that. And here I would have thought you would have said George Clooney.
No, he's great, too, though, but, yeah.
They all are. They're all handsome and just lovely to look at, I guess you could say.
Yes.
So I guess My last two questions to you are, first off, if there happens to be someone who's listening right now who is, struggling, they're in college right now, they're in, studying in theater, and they're thinking to themselves, I'm never going to make it, no one's ever going to notice me, what sort of advice would you give to an up-and-comer as it relates to the industry? What could you tell them?
I would say to definitely stick with your heart and your goals, and I just believe that if you're going to live, our lives are so short, why would you spend it doing something that you don't like? So why go get a 9-to-5 job when you don't want to do that? I would rather be dirt poor and do what I love, because then I'll enjoy my life instead of hating my life every day, Monday to Friday, because we spend most of our time at work if we work a Monday through Friday job. So why not spend it doing something you love? So I would just say to just persist. And I would also say not to listen to people who tell you that you can't do it, because you will always be told you can't do it. And then when you do something, you will always have those people have reasons to hate it or not like the work and let you know. And you just have to keep going. Just for those people. Just don't listen to them. I just try to just block them out.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, as far as for your personal self, let's say 5 years down the road, now, if you just want to share with us where you might see yourself, are you producing, are you writing, are you acting, are you doing all three? Do you have an ultimate goal for yourself down the road, plans for the future?
I do. I would really like to produce my own films and have a team, a strong team that I usually work with. That's kind of where I'm headed now. I'm working on a script right now, and I have in mind who I want to work with, my crew and even my actors. So yeah, that's where I'd like to go.
To end up there. I gotcha. And now just curiously, I don't know this for myself, and I guess I'm wondering if the audience is curious too. Are there particular charities that you work with or ones that are close to your heart, or have you been participating in any of that? It's usually pretty common, I would think. And I was just wondering if there's things out there that you participate with.
Like the Disabled Veterans of America, because I really value our men out there who are fighting for us and our freedom, our country, and give their lives.
Of course, on a daily basis.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's right.
I would have to concur with that, certainly. And now just to clarify with you, of course, as I'll say it again, www.jamiebernadette.com is your website. You have the Twitter handle of @Jamie, that's BERNADETT, if you want to be located on Twitter, and of course you're yourself on Facebook, because obviously I know you on Facebook as well, and certainly you are obviously going to be having your the scarf will be coming out in the very near future. Just to clarify, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be the next venture that we should be taking a look at, obviously. And just so that everybody knows, Jamie's interview has not only been live today, but it will be as an archived episode for any time, any person to listen to. And as of tomorrow or the next day, it'll be blasted across YouTube so anybody can see you. Jamie, I have to thank you because I have had a wonderful time talking to you. You're adorable. You're just lovely. Absolutely lovely.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for
having me. This was great.
Oh, my God, anytime. I would love to have you back in a heartbeat. Whenever you have another project, just give me a holler, or if you want to promote something, just come back to the show. We would love to have you.
Okay, great. Sounds good.
All right, I'll let you go, dear. Good luck with the premiere.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye. All right, folks, that completes our interview with Jamie Bernadette. Again, I want to say a thank you very, very much to both herself as well as to her publicist for arranging this interview for us. I want to make sure that you guys tune in. I'm going to be having another show tomorrow evening as well as on Saturday this week. So please feel free to come in, listen to our shows this week. Again, get on my Facebook page or also on my show page. I'll be listing information about my upcoming charity event. And again, thanks so much to all my listeners, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow. Have a good evening.
It's fall. The geese are headed south, and it's time for you to hit the woods. So button things up, find where they hide, and pattern the deer you seek. Come into Cabela's Great Outdoor Days and save over 20% on Herter's Select Grade handgun ammo. Save $180 after mail-in rebate on Walther PPS M2 pistols with instant savings of $80. And get a Vortex Diamondback 3.5 to 10x50 V-Plex rifle scope, just $149.99. Shop in-store and at Cabela's.com. It's fall. The geese are headed south, and it's time for you to hit the woods. So button things up, find where they hide, and pattern the deer you seek. Come into Cabela's Great Outdoor Days and save over 20% on Herter's Select Grade handgun ammo. Save $180 after mail-in rebate on Walther PPS M2 pistols with instant savings of $80. And get a Vortex Diamondback 3.5 to 10 by 50 feet flex rifle scope, just $149.99. Shop in-store and at Cabela's.com.